Hey guys, Mikhail here for another device deal video. Today we're going to be looking at security cameras, and we're going to be doing a bit of a deep dive comparison today between the Arlo and the Eufy brands, as they're pretty much the two biggest in the market right now, and we get an absolute ton of questioning from customers about these two. So to start with, we'll take a look, I guess, at the range that these cameras have. So both have a lot of different options. In Arlo, you've got quite a nice extensive range where you've got cameras starting from, all the way down at an entry-level point at 1080p, all the way up to a top-end range at 4K resolution. When you're looking at the Eufys, for example, at the moment, I believe the current models that you can get available would be the 2K models primarily, with maybe a couple 1080p, not really too many, and I've noticed only just very recently at the time of this video is being recorded, a 4K option has just been launched. So got a lot of similarities going on that end. Now, if we're going to do some things looking at the field of view, I think just from the cameras that I've seen, Arlo's probably got a bit of the upper edge. So this camera we've got here is the Pro 4 camera, which can have a field of view of 160 degrees. The equivalent camera in resolution for the Eufy cam would be the 2C Pro or 2 Pro, which goes at 130 or 135 degrees. So you do get a nice kind of little bit of a wider field of view with the Arlo cameras. So on top of this, there is a lot of overlap on top of the other main features. So both the cameras all have two-way audio. They're both all made to be weatherproof, so can get rained on. They've got different RPX ratings. They've both got alarm systems in them. With the Arlo, it's in the cameras. With the Eufy, it's in the base station. And you've got different things like advanced AI detection to detect if it's a person or not. You've got a lot of these overlapping things that kind of cover both brands. So when it comes to the batteries, what I believe Arlo has kind of a little bit of an upper hand with a lot of their models is the fact that they've got a nice modular design. And the the batteries themselves are removable. So to show you here, the case comes off really nice and easy, and then you've just got the battery that comes out like this, nice and easy, and this can actually be replaced. So I feel like that can give you an overall longer lasting time frame, whereas if you've got some of these Eufy models, the batteries can't be removed. So essentially once the camera dies or the battery dies, that's it, you have to replace the camera. And you've got a nice kind of magnetic charging point, which makes it a bit easier to charge, just versus a micro USB on this model here. So we want to take a bit of a deeper dive now on the actual security of these cameras itself. That's the whole reason you're getting these to begin with. Whether you want to be, monitoring your home, or maybe checking up on a pet or relative, or just keeping yourself safe in general, or keeping a lookout just to make sure no mischief is going on. Now, you may or may not have known, but in the news quite recently, the Eufy cameras were actually kind of put on blast as people were able to access other customers' footage without their permission. So essentially, imagine opening your phone wanting to see what's going on in your own home, and you're randomly seeing someone else's bathroom or someone else's warehouse, and have no idea what's going on. Or even the fact that once you found that out, to know that someone else has got that access, it can be a little bit scary. So that's something that I think Eufy probably needs to work on a little bit, whereas Arlo has a really well secure privacy policy, and they're extremely transparent about it as well. So now I'm going to go into probably the two most sought after questions that we get here at Device Deal regarding these security cameras is about the storage and subscriptions. So to start with, we'll look at the storage. So the storage options for both of them actually are the same as far as the options of local storage or cloud storage. For both these options, cloud storage is covered by a subscription, which I'll get down to a little bit later. But for now, I just want to focus on the local storage. So with the Eufy cams, the current models like the 2C Pro and the 2 Pro will come with a base that has 16 gig of built-in storage, and you cannot expand on that, on those current, and that's for the 2K camera models. If Eufy decide to bring out a new base or something where you can maybe replace it and expand that would be pretty handy, but at the moment, I personally find that to be a little bit of a limitation, that you kind of got a fixed limit on the base station storage with the Eufys. They do have other options of like standalone cameras, which use like a micro SD card that you can expand up to 128 gig. But you know, we're talking more about just the popular models at the moment. With the Arlo, I think they've got a kind of a nice handy feature where you can use the base station for storage as the optional choice, and you can have up to 2 terabytes of either a micro SD card if you're using the 4K camera, because that base station uses that particular type of storage, versus the Essential and the Pro 4 option, which then that base station will use like a USB port, so you could put in an external hard drive. So on that front, I think that's pretty handy to have for local storage. The big thing is about accessibility. So this is something where a lot of people think Eufy actually have the upper hand, but there's some things you need to consider and know that Arlo actually do have those features as well, but they just do it in a more secure way. So it's to do with the remote access mainly with these cameras. So with the Eufy cameras, you can remotely access your footage wherever you are as long as your phone's got internet. So that's why you don't necessarily need a subscription, and that's why they advertise that, you know, no subscriptions are required. However, you do need to acknowledge that if you are accessing anything that's on a local drive remotely, it has to be going through some kind of servers, especially if there's nothing in between. So, you know, like a VPN or something like that. So there must be, it has to be going through something. It's probably going through their servers down in China or something like that. You know, it's not got that, I guess, that pure like safety that I feel like Arlo makes themselves more transparent about. When it comes to the Arlo storage, now you don't really get that just as a, you know, straight out the box. So I know that's kind of the first difference there where Eufy gets a bit of an advantage. It's a lot more simplistic as far as that remote access of local storage. However, with Arlo, they have a feature called direct storage access. This actually does allow you the way to access locally stored footage on your phone remotely. So it does have that feature. However, they like to try and do it in a bit more of a safe way, because how they do it is they would firstly highly recommend that you use a VPN router, because that allows you to be on the same Wi-Fi network as the cameras, but remotely, and you can keep that all secure. So that means you're doing stuff on the same network. So that's, again, it's just to do with that safety element there. Otherwise, they say that you can do port forwarding as well, but they do give you that warning that because port forwarding is where you could start to get potential security risks. This is what I personally think Eufy's probably doing with their side. They must be doing some kind of port forwarding, but you know, they don't mention it. I don't know exactly how they're able to do it. But yeah, they're a little bit less transparent about it. So now I want to talk about the second element of storage, which would be the cloud storage. So both these options have cloud storage, both at a reasonable cost, and you get a rolling 30 days of cloud storage that's kept. And I just want to kind of go back on the local storage versus cloud storage debate, because something else we get asked quite a lot of here is, you know, which one's more secure? People have concerns about cloud storage, or people say, oh, what happens if somebody tampers with my cameras? I don't want to lose that footage and all that jazz. So something I just want to explain to everyone here is cloud storage is actually more secure than local storage in this regard. With local storage, if someone gets a hold of your base or the USB or hard drive, whatever it's on, and destroys that or tampers with that, the footage is gone. Whereas if you've got cloud storage, then your footage is saved in this like remote access facility that you can just access on your phones at any time. And it doesn't really matter what the person or criminal tries to do, like they cannot delete that evidence. There's nothing they can do about it. So like in essence, the best way to do it is to have both cloud and local. That's the most secure way to do it, because you'll have copies and then it doesn't matter where you are, you know, it just gives you that flexibility. But it's just important noting, like I've had so many people tell me that they don't want to use cloud service because they think it's actually not safe. But, you know, as long as the company you're dealing with is, you know, got a clear, transparent privacy policy, and, you know, you can do your research and make sure that they're not up to any mischief, it still would be the safer option overall. So I want to do a slight analysis on the cost of these two devices. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are a lot of different price points or quality points for both the brands. So, they can be pretty subjective depending on, if you're looking at something at Full HD or 2K or whatever. For this just quick comparison right now, we're going to look at the top end products for each brand. So for the Eufy, it would be the Eufy Cam 3 that's just been launched. And for Arlo, it'd be the Arlo Ultra 2. Both of these are 4K. So we're talking about the picture quality, which is generally one of the most important things people care about. Those will be the same for each of these. And then, they've both got their night vision. I think they've got a similar field of view as well. I think Arlo might have a better field of view, but I'm not sure about the full specs of the Eufy Cam 3 yet, as it is quite new. But if we're going to compare the cost, so you can get a 4-pack of this new Eufy camera for about $2,000, whereas the Ultra, right now at Device Deal, we can do a 4-pack for $1,199, so just under $1,200. So when you're using these two products, particularly with the Ultra, if you want to get the best out of it, it's probably recommended that you use the subscription. And I know a lot of people complain about the subscription, but if you're comparing the price of these two here, with that $800 savings that you're getting from, going for the Arlo option, you could get basically 3 years of their 4K cloud storage plan, along with their, enhanced AI detection features, and you get some additional benefits as well. So when it comes to no internet options or no Wi-Fi options, I would definitely say that Arlo has the upper hand here. So Arlo is quite unique and has a niche option which they have, and they call that the Arlo Go 2, which is this model here. So how this camera works is that it actually is able to operate in areas without Wi-Fi because it can operate off a data SIM card, and it's unlocked, so you can use anyone's SIM card. So this has been really handy for our customers who maybe are looking after a construction site, or maybe they're renovating, or they want to look at livestock or camping. There's a heap of different needs for it. And we do find this one to be actually quite popular as well. This is something that would have the upper hand on Eufy, as they do not yet have this kind of option. And there's not really a lot of guys out there at all that deal with this. So yeah, it's definitely kind of a niche requirement, but it's something very handy overall. So aesthetically with these cameras, you'll find that pretty much everyone has them in white, but we do have a lot of people ask if they could come in other colors. Well, Arlo has one of the more exclusive color options in black. They are a lot harder to find, and we find ourselves one of the lucky retailers that are able to offer the black color. So yeah, if you were interested in a black color camera, definitely be sure to check out our website. Alright guys, well there you have it. So that was our comparison between the Arlo and Eufy branded security cameras. At Device Deal, we probably feel like that the Arlo has got the upper hand at the moment, but Eufy still does have a lot of advantages as well. If you're going to go for the Arlo, I would highly suggest you do go for the subscription, as you definitely get the most out of the product, and it makes it the most convenient and easy to use as well, with that subscription in place on top of that. At Device Deal, we've even got another trade-in offer exclusive. So if you've shopped with us before, or just have these Arlo cameras in general, you can actually trade in some older models to upgrade to some of the newer ones that come out now and in the future as well. So you can check out the details on that on our website. We also find that if you look out in the market and just go to certain experts, like PC Mag or BBC, we've had a lot of different kind of organizations will also rank Arlo as their kind of go-to choice, particularly the Pro 4 model. We found a heap of rave reviews on the Pro 4. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked, make sure that you like and subscribe on this video. And if you have any further questions, feel free to leave us a comment below or give us a ring. We do have an email, contact number, and live chats. We've got plenty of ways to contact us. So if you do need anything, just let us know, and we'll see you in the next one.